what's going on, y'all? I'm super hyped to go over this update. It's actually been a month since I updated this deck, and I made the changes that I told you I would. Don't let this surprise you. It's not an update on True King Yang Zings. We're actually doing that right after this. This is True King Crystron Metalfoes. This is a deck I talked about. I spoke of it when I did my Metalfoe Crystron deck, and I said, dude, this deck has insane synergy with just diagram alone. You need to play the water and the fire True King because there's so many combos, like retarded combos that you can do. Like diagram making, like any Crystron live, diagram on your scales, on your Metalfoes combination, on your Metalfoes fusion. Dude, oh my god. Like this deck, destroying cards is a thing. Like, seriously, this deck is insane. It's totally 100% original. There's no way possible that I could have net decked this. I do my research before I do crazy decks like this to make sure that nobody's tried it before me. If they have, I would either change the deck up and do something different, or I would give credit where credit's due. But you guys know how we do things. We do these crazy decks that nobody does. And without further ado, we're going to hop into this deck profile. We are playing 3 copies of Agni Mazout, the Vanisher, and 3 copies of Barastos, the Fathomer. These True Kings have great synergy in this deck because you have all the attributes. You play only fire and water. They're great extenders for your combos. They're powerful with diagram. The Metalfoe scales can pop these on field, getting their secondary grave effects. Crystrons can pop them on field, getting their secondary grave effects. They can pop your Crystrons, getting their grave effects. They can pop obviously your Bismo Gear, getting his in-phase effect. They're just really broken. They're powerful. They give you access to this bad boy right here, Calamities. If you can make Calamities, you can beat almost any deck in this format. It's just way too OP. Banish your back rows, banish your monsters. It's just way too powerful. The 6 True Kings, maximize on all of them. And then moving forward, we're playing the Metalfoe scales. Actually, he don't deserve that. He don't deserve for me to put cards on top of him. We're going to move these back here, and we're going to put the Metalfoe scales here. So it's pretty simple. 3 Volt Flame, 3 Gold Driver. I really would go in-depth on explaining Metalfoes, but they're normal monsters, and they all have the same scale effect. Pop a face-up card, set a spell or trap. It's like simple. They're old enough for everybody to know what they do. I maximize on every single name of Metalfoes except for Bismo Gear. I felt that Bismo Gear is powerful, and I actually played him at 3. I did play him at 3, but I was like, I have to cut a card. I was like, I can cut a Bismo Gear because he has great synergy. You can add him back with counter, and also you can't really pendulum summon him from extra deck. So he's a good card to cut to 2. 3 is correct in my opinion, but that sums up the Metalfoes portion. And then the Spice, the actual MVPs of this deck are the Crystrons. They like, without Crystrons, if you don't open up with at least 1 Crystron, your combo is not going to be the same. You'll notice it. Because their on-field effects are really relevant for the rest of the turn after you resolve that. The rest of the turn, you cannot summon any monsters from the extra deck except machine types. But that does say for the rest of the turn, right? So if you play the card smart, you won't lock yourself out of your Calamities. You can make Calamities. Cool thing with the Crystrons and the Metalfoes and the True Kings and the diagram is this deck doesn't even need links because it can pop its extra monster zone with this effect, with this effect, with these effects, or the diagram, clearing your extra monster zone so you can replace that monster with a different boss. Crystrons can do so. Like, if Calamities is out of materials, he's used his effect twice, you can just normal this guy, pop him, summons a tree, or, you know, like whatever you want, make your synchro play at that point. Your synchro, you can pop that then with your Metalfoe scale, and then you get the synchros effect when it's destroyed, special summon from graveyard, and then you can replace that slot with your Metalfoe fusion. Then you can pop your fusion with diagram, search your plays, and then use Mithurium's effect to summon again. You can extend your combo so well. Like, the way I explain that, that's really how I do it sometimes. Like, there's just, this deck can give the person you're playing against a huge headache. They just don't really know what to do. 3 Smigers, 3 Crystron, Fistfern and Smiger. It's very important to capitalize on 3 of each. They're the best Crystrons in the deck. They're the best Crystrons in the archetype. 2 Sulfenir. Sulfenir tends to brick because you don't play a lot of Crystron names, so you don't want to open with multiples of him because you can't use him on his own effect. In my pure Crystron list, I actually played this guy at 2. And, I'm sorry, at 3. And in my Metalfoes Crystron list, I played him at 3 because I played a lot more Crystrons. But we had to cut them to make room for the 5 diagrams and the 6 True Kings. There's 11 cards you have to make space for. 1 Citri and 1 Rion. These are totally accessible from your deck. Crystrons have a similar consistency scale as the Zodiacs because they're 1-card combos. If you have a Crystron, you have an instant synchro. You could just pop this guy, use his effect, summon Citri, and you're good to go. it's just like insane. Like you have an instant synchro play at that point. Sulfenir is kind of similar from Grave. Like you can pitch as Crystron, you know, summon him, and you can. I'll show you. I showed you guys the combo. I'll show you a quick one at the end. Like one of the best and simplest combos. We'll do the rest of the combos in a combo tutorial. 2 Scrap Cyclers. I'm glad I was able to pick this card up. My homeboy Eric, who is one of our teammates, actually got these for me, and he gave them to me as a gift. I'm happy about that. Huge, fat, chunky monster lineup because the spells and traps don't really give you your field presence. Well, they do in a sense, but they're mostly to either A, stall, or B, extend your plays, which, you know, that's what the Metalfoe's combination does, and the impact, of course, is like an instant synchro play. Because I play once a tree, so once a tree gets banished, you just activate impact, summoning a tree, and then you synchro as a tree and whatever you want. For spells, we play just the 5 diagrams. Diagram's very important in this deck, but because I had to cut, like, you know, certain cards, I was like, we can afford to play one that's diagram, because it's not, like, the center focus of the deck. It's just really, really nice. It's an extender, and it also can, basically, it triggers certain combos that you wouldn't be able to resolve if you didn't play this card. So diagram's great. It's awesome. And then for the rest of the spells, is one of each of the fusions. You don't want to break on them, and they're so accessible with the 14 Metalfoes that you play in your deck. For the traps, it's pretty simple. 2 combination, 2 counters, and 2 impacts. These are all your live more, win more cards. Combination is insane in Link format because you can fuse with your Mithrium and a Metalfoes that you search off Phase and Bismugear, or another one that's on the field, and you'll trigger the combination summoning. You summon your Orichalc, and then Mithrium will special another one, and combination will summon Mithrium to the graveyard, from the graveyard to the main monster zone, which is very important. So you have a free Mithrium now. So combination is great for grinding it out. You recycle it a lot with your Mithrium, and it's like one of the best targets for your combos because you can pop it with Diagram, or you can pop it with your Sulfenir, which I'll show you guys one of those combos later. The deck is like so skillful. This deck, if you pick this up and like just try to play it, you're gonna get it wrong. You're gonna mess up. Like, these are the kind of decks I like to build. I like to build those complicated decks where it's like, no matter what, even if somebody tries to like say they stole my idea, like they can't really play the deck, and it's like there's no proof, there's no evidence, there's no way. If you don't know how to play the deck, how are you gonna say that you built it? I built this, dude. This is like a crazy idea. I'm trying to master the deck myself. I actually keep coming up with new combos as I'm trying to do one combo. 2 counters is very, very important. You need to play at least 2 for grinding it out. Counter and impact do pretty much the same thing. They allow you to summon on your opponent's turn and make more plays. This in tandem with full Metalfoe fusion is pretty broken because you can fuse on their turn, continue extending your plays as a combination. Impact and counter ultimately let you summon monsters from the banish zone and from your deck on your opponent's turn, which allows you to live for a turn. Living for a turn is important in this deck because if it gets 1 turn, it can go off, it can break your board, it can kill you. Calamities being one of the best way to break boards. Call Water, Special Fathomer, pop 2, banish 2, let's go for game. Impact has an effect that banishes itself from grave to protect your monsters from being targeted. Only Crystron monsters though, and this banishes itself from grave so you can add resources when you're going into grind games. That sums up the main deck. And then the extra deck will be 2 copies of Chlamydia, 3 copies of Mithrium. This bad boy is insane. 2 Orichalcs and 1 Alkahest, the cards that you recycle with Mithrium, so you don't need to play them at 3, but absolute 3 of. Carrion Quandrax, 2 a Matrix, and 1 Quandax, the only Crystron synchros I make. The other one, the Phoenix, you have to have synchros, like multiple synchros, so that means like you have to have a way to link. And we have access to Mrs. Radiant, I mean not Mrs. Radiant, Miss Starboy, but it's like, I've tried it and it's like the combo, it's like there's no first turn combo that you can do to make Phoenix. You have to like stall out and wait 1 or 2 turns to make the Phoenix. This guy is a lot easier because when you can synchro on your first turn by like having a Crystron this turn, you can like pop it with Diagram, use this effect to search, and then you do the Sulfenir combo, and you bring out the Citri, and you can actually literally like synchro for this guy, and you can pop him with one of the True Kings, and then use his effect to summon one from grave. Like you can extend your plays ultimately to drop him on your first turn as possible, but you never want to drop him on your first turn anyways. I'm just saying it is possible. You have a higher chance of making this guy than you do of making Phoenix. Put it that way. 1 Insectron, he's one of the staples that I make so I can live a turn. It's just, this deck is all about like grinding it out and just making a big push for next turn. It's like a second turn kill instead of a first turn kill. And then 2 Miss Starboy comes up a lot. Miss Starboy, especially to like recycle. And then, you know, you use your impact once you've banished like 1 too many Crystrons, you just use impact to get them back. And then, of course, I wish there was a Fire Link monster, but since there's not, this is the only way for me to have multiple extra deck monsters outside of actually using Metalfoe's combination to the full advantage. And of course, using the Crystron synchros to summon from grave. There's a lot of ways you can do it. I'm going to show you guys a quick 3-card combo. And then I'm going to end the deck profile. And we'll do a combo tutorial another day. So if you open with this Fern, a Metalfoe Scale, and like any random Crystron card, let's say for example, because like consider this, the only Crystron monsters that I play that are at 3 are Thistfern and Smiger. So let's say you open up with these, right? You can basically just go normal summon Thistfern, activate your scale, popping Thistfern, and from your deck you're gonna set combination. It's very important, set combination. You'll understand why in the future. Well, right now you understand. Banish Thistfern. You didn't use his effect, so you can banish him. It's totally legal. Know what I'm doing here. And then we're gonna search for Sulfenir. This guy's broken in this deck. Sulfenir should have been a Metalfoe's monster. Just kidding. He's just really good in Metalfoe Crystron, and he's good with the True Kings too. Use his effect, pitching Smiger, summon him. Uses the effect, do not destroy himself. Destroy combination. Combination will then search, and now guess what? You've completed your scales. Yay! Search a scale, play a scale, use the scale, pop Sulfenir, and then you're gonna set. At this point, you'll set counter, just so you can live a turn. And then, of course, Sulfenir goes off separate chain. If and not when. If and not when, keep in mind. Summon Rion. Hey! And then you're going to banish Smiger. You did not use either of their effects. You can totally use their effects from grave. You can only use once per turn, but you only use the one. Search Impact. Look how you've established yourself. You set yourself up very well. You have counter and impact to play on your opponent's turn to live more. This can summon Bismal Gear, which will let you search. This can summon Thistfern, which will let you search again. You have complete scale, so you can Pendulum Summon once you get the resources. And this is a 1-card synchro. You can use this, add one of your banish back. They go back into the deck. You synchro, and then this, you recycle all your banish cards, so your banish zone's empty, and your resources get added right back to your grave and into your deck. Really, really lit 3-card combo. I came up with it myself. I really wish I could copyright some stuff sometimes, but nonetheless, it's an insane deck, and we're gonna do a combo tutorial / video another time. I just didn't want to make this deck profile too long because I have other stuff that I need to do before I go to work today. Thank you guys so much for watching the deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. Try this spicy deck idea out yourself. This is Crystron. This is the Crystron variation number 4. I'm trying to do as many different Crystron variations as I can. Metalfoes is just a really great engine. They have such great synergy. Metalfoes and Crystron are like meant to be played. They're meant to be played with each other. I wouldn't play Metalfoes with anything else. I wouldn't play Crystrons with anything else other than the True Kings. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. Deuces.